Och jag har mejlat dig om det var det.
Välkomna hit. Welcome everybody. Morning seminar. Start your day in power. That's great. So great to be here. First of all, I urge everybody to put their camera on. Obviously, if you're driving in a car on public transportation, it doesn't work, then leave the camera off. But we love to see everybody, and it's such a different experience for everybody to see each other. So if possible, just turn your camera on, and if you haven't fixed your hair yet, never mind. So we can see real people here and interact together. I watch you a lot when I speak and teach here, actually, to see what goes on. So I love to see the faces of everybody if we can. So welcome here. In the bottom of the screen, there is a chat box. We start like we did yesterday. Just type in where you're sitting right now. Where are you? Which city are you in? So we get a feel for who's here and where people are located. We have Malmö and Stockholm, of course, that's very common. So where are you right now? Type in the city where you're sitting. So we get present here and everybody can read in the chat. We're Sundsvall in north, Malmö in south, Gothenburg on the west, Stockholm on the east, and probably soon also some places in Pajala, even more north. Great. Gustav. And people abroad are also here or watching recordings of this. We've got 50 people here, 235 people signed up for the seminar, so there is way more people watching the recordings of this afterwards. So if you are on a recording right now, you are really, really welcome here. We're going to start a really great morning together. Next job for you in the chat. Yesterday, we spoke about power and production. I'm curious if you are here for the first time, you've never seen Monica or myself in a live seminar before. So either yesterday or today is your first time, even though you might have listened to podcasts and seen recordings of us. But if it's your first live experience, just type first in the chat. So I see if there are any people here who are new to the community and group here. Type first in the chat if this is the first for you. Åsa, and I'm sure many people on the recording have their first experience. Just curious to see. Good, most of you know us since before. Yesterday, you got homework. It was to take one action to increase your sense of capacity or power, and one action to impact your production. Just type in the chat, what happened as a function of your actions yesterday? And if you weren't here yesterday, you just read in the chat and see what happened. So I'm curious to see, from building your power or building your production, what got done yesterday out of having been here in the morning. So just type in the chat, just a sentence. What happened from taking action to build power or produce something? Kalina says sleep. That's great. Johanna said empty inbox. Yeah, I saw that, Johanna. That's awesome. Cancel the meeting, Christina said, right? Simple thing like declining a meeting or asking a colleague for an update can save an hour or two, right? So meeting got canceled. The inbox got empty. Met some friends, also said. Really, really great. Got a new customer, Gustav said. Super cool. Maybe a new view of the stress of the everyday life. Good. The day was more enjoyable, says Victoria. Cooked a good stew. That's cool. And there are more things. So deciding on building your power starts to have impact quickly. Starts to have impact quickly. So good. Let's dive in to the topic of today. Today, we're going to speak about something I find very, very interesting. It's about, sorry guys, we are here on a different kind of sharing thing. What I meant to do was this. So the thing is, so many people come to us and they have an experience of life that is not ultimately what they want. When we ask people, what brought you to training with us? Why did you take contact with us? Why are we having a conversation, first of all, when we meet up? So many people say a few things that has become a theme for us. People say, well, I experience a lack of time. There's not time enough for me to get done everything I need to get done at work or with my family at home either. And I feel more stressed than I want to feel. So it's this experience of, I don't feel enough. And it's so common for so many of us to not feel enough. Oh, I lost the spelling there. I'll correct that for all the brains who can't stand that. Is that respelled? You. Anyway, skip that detail. I don't feel enough. I'm stressed. There is lack of time, and there is no way I feel that I can't catch up. So I see no way out. So it's so common for us in life to have an experience of being less than. We know we could do better. We know we could feel better. We know there could be more joy at work. We know we should be able to relax at home and not be busy in our mind with all the work. Now, we ask people, what's your experience after you've done a program with us? And they say the similar things. They have grown in capacity to deal with the stress and lack of time and frustrations. And they say, well, I feel more in control. I am more in control now than I was before, of my time, of my tasks, of my tool, on the workload. They say, obviously, I'm less stressed. I have found a relationship to my experience of stress, so it doesn't bother me if it hits, and I get out of it way quicker. I'm less reactive. I'm less impulse driven. I don't react and get distracted as much at all. And the last thing surprised me when I started to hear this. People say, I feel more happy with myself. So today we're going to speak about what is our methodology that brings people from an experience of lack of time, being stressed, worried and concerned, not being enough and seeing no way out, to an experience of being in control, being less stressed, being less reactive and distracted in life, and generally feeling more happy with themselves. There are 4 distinct steps on this path, which we're going to speak about today, and you're going to get homework on the first one. But first, a story. But 5 years ago, we had a participant in our program called True Effectiveness. It's a 12-week program. Some people stay a bit longer in the community. And he contacted us and spoke to my colleague because he was right here. And I didn't speak to him in the beginning. I spoke to him at the end of the program, where he said that your program was an absolute game changer for me. Everything is different. And I'm always curious to hear what's people's experience, because that's what I do. That's me, Monica, our colleagues. We train people, already productive leaders, to feel more joy and a high productivity in life. I never tire of that. This guy was a middle manager at Volvo, and he said, when I contacted you, it was awful for me. I'd taken a middle manager job, my first management accountability. I had 30 people to deal with. I had my family, I had my life, and I just couldn't take it. I was in complete overwhelm. And he said, the thing that woke me up was one day I came home and I parked the car outside my house, and I was just crying. He said I couldn't go into the house. I was just crying and crying and crying because I felt so bad and I felt so hopeless. I was not enough at work. I was not the dad I wanted to be for my kids and my family. And I need some help, he said. How are you doing now then? Well, that's all resolved. Now I feel great. The work basically works. There are some challenges, but I feel good. I'm happy with myself. There's space and time for my family, and I'm good. This was a game changer. Now we'll speak today about what had Hannes move from this place to that place, because you can do that too. It's not complex at all. I met Hannes 2 years after that at a seminar we had. I hadn't spoken to him since, and I was so curious to hear how is he doing now. So I didn't get to speak to him in the day, but he shared for everybody at the end of the seminar, and he said, I did this program 2 years ago, and that's stuck. It's still the same. I'm still happy, less reactive. I feel in control. I'm doing good work. I'm happy with my family. And that's what happens when you work with insights, not stuff your head with new knowledge and models, because you don't do what you know what to do anyway. You need to get insights and discover things. So there are 4 steps on the journey to go from less capacity to more capacity, because that's what happens. You have a capacity that is less than your workload, and you find a capacity that is sufficient for your workload. There are 4 steps to that. First, Monica, can we show the PowerPoint you have on the screen? And I'll speak to that.
Sure.
Good. The first step on the journey to freedom and joy is to tell the truth. Here's why so many trainings in the corporate world don't work, because people don't tell the truth. You need to commit to speaking the truth and be honest about if things are working or not, and honest with, can you get that screen share going, Monica?
Yeah, I closed it down, so it's taking.
Okay, I thought. You need to tell the truth about where you are. That's the starting point of all transformation. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. And you have things in your life right now that are not working as you want them to work. We all do, me too. And we grow and expand, and we get freedom and joy and control, and then we take on bigger games, and then again, things start to not work so well. So we have this methodology where we train ourselves to commit to speaking the truth about the facts of life, about how you feel. Like Hannes, he was incredibly honest with his feelings to himself and to other people when he acknowledged that this doesn't work and this is how I feel. And then you need to find a relevant focus for yourselves. So that's the first step. What's true about the situation you're in? And as soon as you start to get truthful, you start to get more freedom. It's not easy in the beginning to tell the truth, but when you do, you relax and you feel more okay. Second step is you need to challenge your thinking. You need to question your perspective on the world. We spoke about this yesterday. It's not about taking action. First, you need to get a perspective and challenge your old perspective. Step 3 is to create time for yourself. You need to invest your time a little different to get more time. And the last one is you need to customize your tools and technology so it works for you, not against you. I once got a call from a customer. He said, I need to speak to you. Can we get a meeting together? And I said, yes, of course. So what do you want to talk about? Well, I want your tools, he said, for email management and task management. And I said, sure, we can talk about that. Why do you need that? And he said, well, you know me, I'm a regional manager. I manage 18 stores, and it's just crazy. So I'm so stressed, I don't know what to do with myself. I need your tools for email and task management and time management. And I said, sure, we can meet. So he came to my office, to our office in Gothenburg, and we sat down, and he said, now I want your tools. I want your tools. And I said, well, tell me what goes on. And he shared the story about the business had grown and he had 18 stores all over south of Sweden. He was traveling like crazy and it was too much. And he said, so I want your tools and I want your tools. I told them, you're not going to get any tools today. And he was kind of a little shocked. I disrupted him. Well, I came here to get tools. Why am I not getting tools? And I told him, well, I cannot give you my tools today because they will not work. Tools are not the solution. You need to have some insights about your thinking first, and we need to tell the truth about why you're stressed. Otherwise, the tools will just be a waste of time. So the sequence here is purposeful and in order. You can't create time for yourself unless your thinking changes, right? And your thinking will never change if you don't acknowledge what's true for you. The good and the bad, true what's not working, and tell the truth about what you want and what is working. So I addressed the fact with this guy that what created his stress was not the 18 stores and was not the emails and not the tasks. What created the experience of stress for him, like it is for all human beings all the time, was his own thinking about the email and the stores and the tasks. And he couldn't see it at first, but then he started to wake up to the fact that when human beings are stressed, their thinking is always involved. You don't feel stressed without stressful thinking. You don't feel stressed without stressful thinking. Conscious or unconscious thinking, but you don't. Type in the chat right now, everybody, a situation that is stressful for you. Type a situation that causes unwanted feelings of worry, concern. You don't need to be stressed like with a heartbeat that's racing. Just worry, concern. You feel a bit anxious, you're frustrated. It's like, I don't like this. We need to change this. You get annoyed, you get impatient. What situation in life, type in the chat right now, is a situation when there is frustration or worry or stress for you? Type in English or Swedish, either way, there'll be enough English to read. Bim says, when I feel like I'm not enough. Yeah, not enough. I don't feel enough. My kids are having a tantrum, right? When there is a lack of time. When I'm about to sleep, my thoughts are racing. When I think I might have sent the wrong mail to the wrong person, yes. Everybody's tired in the evening when it's time to go to bed, yes. Some of these situations, you can easily see that when you are caught up in thinking about them, you feel worry, concern, and stress. But when you forget about that situations, you're fine. I had a customer which I didn't send the minutes of meetings to and the documentation that I should have sent a month ago. And every time I thought of it, it lasted for 2 or 3 weeks. I felt like, oh, annoyed and a little bit of stress and worry, whatever. Then I forgot about it again and I was fine. And then that showed up again. Oh, I should have sent that thing. God, I can't get it done today. And then I feel stressed. And when I didn't think about it, I felt fine. That's how stress works. And this store manager, he suddenly realized, wow, I'm thinking myself stressed. And if my thinking could change, I wouldn't feel that stressed. And he had an insight, like a big aha moment. His face suddenly looked different. And he said, wow, I never thought of the fact that my thinking is involved in my experience of stress. And you know, I have a bit of a power what I give my focus on to think on. He left the meeting with looking different. And he said, I never realized I think myself stressed. And I have something to say about what I think about. I'm glad you didn't give me the tools today. Next time we met a week or two later, he said, I got so many comments from people. They said, Stefan, you look different. What happened to you? You look different. Because I don't feed that stressful thinking anymore. He said, what needs to get done needs to get done, but I don't need to add extra stress by ruminating and thinking about it all the time. You are the same, I'm the same, we are the same. From that place, he could invest his time differently. And I gave him tools also that he then could elevate the experience of joy and freedom and being in control even more. So this is the path to power. This is the steps that are incredibly reliable for any human being to move from less capacity to more capacity, from less power to more power, from being frustrated and anxious to actually feeling joy at work and being happy with yourself. It's actually impossible for it not to work. When people are really honest and tell the truth about how they are doing, how they are feeling, and their focus, when they get mindsets in place that are creating power and capacity, not robbing them of power and capacity, only that is a good start. That's the power side we spoke about yesterday. Those two feeds your power. Then when you start to invest your time differently and use your tools differently, that impacts your production, your ability to produce results. We're going to practice being truthful at the end of the seminar today, but first I want to share something with you. We train people all the time, every day, in very many ways of operating and working. We have year-long programs for leaders. We do 12-week programs for leaders. We coach people individually. Monica flies to Tokyo, New York, and other places sometimes to sit by the desk of a leader and help them with their tools and the setup of the structures to make that work better, or goes to companies and does that for groups. We have a combination of digital training and coaching, and we run short programs for a week. I started working with online training in 2013. I got a call from Singapore. The companies called me and said, can you come here and record your trainings? We're starting an online educational site. We can't pay you, but we pay for your hotels, we pay for your flights, and you can access all the material we record for your business. So would you come and do it? So I came and did it. They apparently liked it a lot because I was back 6 months later doing another week of green screen studio. It was my first experience of that. I came home, we put together an educational site. We called it More to Learn. That was 10 years ago now. We were very proud, 60, 80 movies on it, still have all those recordings. And we started talking to companies about it. It absolutely didn't work at all because we didn't know how to do online trainings by that. Now 10 years has passed and now we do high-end online trainings. The Stockholm School of Economics called us for their prestige education they have internationally with people from 18 countries because they didn't know when Corona hit how to do good online trainings, and we got the job to take on that international program for the first 3 days of the 10-day experience. So our programs online really, really work. And next week on Monday, we start a new 8-day program that I lead with my colleague Fiona Jacobs. And for 8 days, we will train you in this methodology of being truthful, of altering your thinking, and some of time and tools. How many of you were in the last 8-day program? Just to type yes in the chat. Type yes in the chat if you were with us in September. Yeah, some people. It's hard to find the chat also, some people. Yes. In there, we talked a lot about about the practice of study and business and family life. This month, we're going to focus on the domain of being, or the domain of self-awareness, the domain of getting insights into the nature of being human and how your thinking shapes and creates your experience of life. So it's going to be a lot about the first 2 steps in the next 8 days. Being truthful, how does that work? And what does it mean to discover new levels of awareness about being human? So it's a week about that. It's going to be awesome. We'll mail you today a link to a page where you can read more about that. You see the page here. The page has the recordings from each of the days. If you missed yesterday, you can go to the recording and watch yesterday's seminar as well. Thursday video will be here, and tomorrow's video will be by this link also. So if you can't be here tomorrow, just go there and watch the recordings. Then you get information about the 8-day transformative online program here. I'm not going to say much. It starts on Monday. You can read about the problem, the possibility, the path, the offer, all the times. The price is, I say, only $495, including VAT. Last month we charged $1,200. We want to do something different this time. $495, 8 days. We record everything. You get mailed the recordings. If you can't join live, just join us for a great experience next week. What is included in that tuition also is a full month membership in our community. So for the following week, we'll do new things and new things and new things. So the online community we run, you can read about here. I just want to show you that every month as a member in this community, you get a week of daily videos and trainings. The second week of the month, you get to participate in a workshop with Monica when you bring your calendar and your work and your to-do list and stuff, and you get trained. The third week, we have a custom-made video for the community here. And the last week of the month, we do an in-depth seminar on the topic of that video. So this whole month's membership is included of your tuition of the 8-day program. And then you stay a member for as long if you want, if you don't cancel your membership. So we'll mail you this link so you can read more. It's going to be a really great way. I really look forward to it. So that's in your inbox very soon, and Monica will post a link. Let colleagues, friends know that could be interested as well. Now, last task for today. What's not working as you want it to work with regards to your job situation? Just look right now for 20 seconds. What do you know, if you're honest to yourself, is not really working at your job? What causes frustration? What causes stress? What would you love to change? You're saying yes to too many meetings. You want to say no. You don't plan your day, but you just start working in the morning. You allow yourself to be disrupted by other colleagues' questions all the time. You check your mails 10 times per day, although you think I should actually not check it before lunch at all. You stay later at work than you want. You don't leave on time and you come home late and rushed for dinner. Or you pick up your computer in the evenings after your kids go to bed. Do you really know that doesn't work? If you're truthful, you should take the evening off, at least most evenings of the week, and just relax. Some of you haven't had a completely free weekend in a long time, and you know that doesn't work. I should take at least all of Saturday and not even look at my text messages from work. Type in the chat, what are you struggling with? What's not working for you? I want to see that stuff. That helps us address the right things also. So what's not working at work the way you want it to work? What causes stress for you? Lack of planning, I'm too reactive. Time to get back to the magic list. Great, Anna, you have a method and you're not using it, the magic list, right? Good, who else? What's not working? Distraction, not planning my day. Organization, new deadlines. Procrastination. Good. So now you told the truth about something. Your task for today, your homework for today, is to take one action today that impacts that thing that's not working. Just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, and do something to start to alter what doesn't work well for you in any way you can. And we meet up tomorrow. You're going to share it in the chat tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And we're going to take the next step tomorrow and speak about reflection and planning tomorrow. It's going to be great tomorrow. Reflection and planning. Most people want to do more of it. Many of us don't find the time for it. We're going to address that issue tomorrow. So thanks for joining today. Go watch that webpage Monica posted. Join us next week if that's for you. And we turn on our microphones, everybody, and say a shared goodbye as we normally do. So, hej då allihopa. Bye bye. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Hej då.
Tack.
Bye bye.
Tack för idag. Ha det
Tack
gott.
för idag.
Tack, hej.
Hej då. Hej, hej.